Good evening, everyone. My name is Sisson. I'm an intelligence analyst for the ODNI Near East Division. I've been working the Iranian problem set for the past 15 years. So trust me when I say I know what I'm talking about. Now, before you all came in here, I'm sure you guys read the recently published CIA report titled The National Intelligence Report on Iranian Ballistic Missile Capabilities. In this report, we find that the Iranians are not only seeking long-range ballistic missile capabilities, but also nuclear technology. The sources within this report are highly classified, although some of them were revealed to be Israeli. But most importantly, these sources are highly credible and highly reliable, and they all point in the direction of a nuclear-armed Iran within the coming months or year. I'd like to emphasize that this threat is real, and we need to take it seriously. Furthermore, I'd like to point out that America has gotten the nuclear question wrong in the past. Look no further than the Cuban Missile Crisis in 1962. The Russians were building launch sites on mainland Cuba, right under our noses. When we found out, it was too late, and we had to compromise with the Russians and take our own missiles out of Turkey. We were playing checkers and they were playing chess. Just 13 years later, in 1974, the Indians detonated a nuke on a testing range. We didn't think that the Indians would even consider developing nukes, but they did. And the point I'm trying to make is that we don't assess risk the same way other countries do, so we can't apply our own mindset to other countries because we don't understand them in the same way that they understand themselves. So why are you guys here? Well, I'm here to brief you on the intelligence collection plan that's going to further paint a picture of what exactly is going on in Iran. The organizations and agencies that are involved in this collection plan will be as follows: the Central Intelligence Agency, the National Security Agency, the Defense Intelligence Agency, the National Reconnaissance Office, and the National Geospatial Intelligence Agency. I'll follow it up with a conclusion of what I recommend we do in the event that this report points to a high likelihood of Iranian nuclear armament, which, just based off the report that I read from the CIA, I think that's what it's going to be. So first of all, let's look at the CIA. CIA, as we all know, has a vast network of spies around the world. They have human intelligence sources that they develop and use through their case officers. And the last thing I want to do is interfere with the operations that they already got going on. Because, to be frank, the intelligence report that they recently published is pretty remarkable and is the reason we're here today. Secondly, I'd like to task them to one particular mission set. In the report, they reveal that in November in Beijing, there will be an international conference on the safe use of nuclear energy. Iran is sending scientists to this conference. China will be there, obviously. Russia will be there, and so will North Korea. Now, we can infer that that's not at all. That the only thing that's going to take place here is the discussion of safe nuclear energy. We need the CIA to develop sources there and infiltrate that conference. And we need to find out just exactly who the Iranians talk to. And we need to make contact with those scientists and just essentially see what they're up to. Because we already know, based on the intelligence report, that the Iranians are using Russia and Chinese technology. And who knows what North Korea is going to do, because they're a rogue state actor. They could very well sell them technology that they don't have. Next, we're going to look at the NSA. The NSA is going to use all the resources they have available, which are classified mostly, but we're going to develop a lot of signal intelligence, and we're going to look for ways to try and, well, we're going to look at ways to try and intercept any communication that occurs between Iran and other countries, and also Iran domestically. We do have information, as you saw in the report by the CIA, of who's exactly running the Iranian nuclear program. It's a high-up general. And if we can get not only human sources to find out where this guy's location is, it would also be preferable if we could somehow intercept his communications with anyone he may be talking to. Again, I emphasize that we really need to find out and intercept any communications that Iran is having with other countries that also have nuclear technology. Now we'll go over to the DIA. Now the DIA obviously focuses on foreign military capabilities, and that's exactly what I want them to do. I want them to focus on Iran's conventional near-peer capabilities. I want questions answered like, do they know the same tactics we know? Do they have night vision? Do they have, well, is their Republican Guard really as elite as they say it is? Also, they need to develop a course of action in which, if military intervention is necessary, of just what facilities and compounds might need to be destroyed. So just an overview of the DIA, near-peer capabilities. Let's also look into the missiles that they're using, what their ranges are. We already have an estimation that it's 1,500 right now, and they're developing a missile that's 2,500 miles. The DIA is going to play an important role in the overall collection plan because they're going to come up with that course of action. Now, let's look at the NRO. We all know what the NRO is. They own all our satellites. They have equity on all of them. They can change up the orbit and pretty much put satellites anywhere we need them to be put. Personally, I think we should put these satellites obviously over the country of Iran, but also over specific sites. In the intelligence report you guys saw, I'm sure that the Iranians are developing a nuclear testing facility in one of their deserts, but I'd also like them to send satellites over their mountainous region to the west. If they follow suit of what North Korea did by detonating nukes underground and around mountains to try and avoid detection, we need satellites there to pick up on it. If any nuclear bomb explodes, the NRO will be first to know using their measures and signals technology. Lastly, after the NRO develops photos and takes pictures of what exactly is going on in Iran, especially in those compounds, those key facilities, we need the NGA to really analyze those. The NGA is going to report to the DIA and not only find vulnerable points within the Iran nuclear apparatus, but also point out where exactly Iran has their anti-air defenses set up, or just any defenses in general. They need to go over and over and over that again so we can develop a extremely competent course of action if it does come down to a military strike. Now, in conclusion, I know I keep mentioning the military strike. Well, I don't think America should get bogged down in another Middle Eastern quagmire, but I do think that Iran poses a serious threat. So if they do develop nuclear missiles, it's going to change the balance of power within that region for years to come. And I just wouldn't risk allowing that to happen. We don't know what they're going to do. They don't like Israel. They don't like Saudi Arabia. We just don't. They're unpredictable. So how do we stop it from happening? Well, I think we take the moderate route. The moderate route will be surgical strikes, precision strikes on those facilities to set the Iranian nuclear program back years, and that we keep doing that until we're confident that they're not going to be able to develop any nuclear weapons. Precision strikes, I think, are the best of both worlds. We don't have troops on the ground, and we also don't have a nuclear armed Iran. So, in conclusion, I think that that's what we should do. I think these are the agencies that should be involved. And again, I really would like to emphasize that we need to take this threat seriously. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you all have a good night.